Can you imagine how difficult it would be if we drove a car facing and sitting like this? I mean, it would be hard to stay in the lane and see the road. But that's exactly how we have to putt. We're facing and looking this way, but we're putting that way. And the USGA rules and the rules of golf say we have to stand beside the ball. And I've seen some people over the years, try this standing beside the ball like this and making like a broom sweeping kind of stroke. That doesn't work out very well for most people, so most of us putt in the conventional way like this. And because our eyesight is made for what's binocular vision, so like standing behind the ball or crouching behind the ball and using our binocular vision to look that way, we see the line. But then you get up beside the putt, and now you're looking sideways, and for many of us, our eyesight causes us to miss the line. We're going to talk in this video about why that is and how to fix it. I've done videos before on eye alignment for putting and how important that is. And I've always believed and thought that you should set up with your eyes either immediately over the ball. So if I were here and my dominant eye is my right eye. If it was left, I'd use left. But if I were here, eyes immediately over the ball, and I drop a ball from my dominant eye, it hits the other ball. Now for me, the best setup position is just behind and inside, so if I dropped the ball, I'd want it to hit there. And I've always taught and thought and believed that you should never set up with your eyes over here outside the ball, that doesn't work. But there's a huge problem. Recently, doing lessons for a couple of different people, I've discovered two different folks who could not see the line unless they were set up with their eye position there. So something completely and totally new for how to set up and get your eyes adjusted over the ball. So here's what I want you to do to figure out your eye alignment and setup, and this will be, you'll figure out what works for you and you can ingrain it so that you can use it. Something that I've figured out and put together to help my students who needed their eyes out past the ball or in different positions. Plus, our eyes change over time using this method. It won't matter if your eyesight changes, it still works. So I want you to put balls in a straight line. And that may mean that you have to use an alignment stick to make a straight line. So if I were using an alignment stick, I would use like this and maybe even string two of them together if I needed to or wanted to. Or you can use a string, like if you have one of those putting strings that you can buy, or this is one that I made homemade with some items from Home Depot. Now you can stretch this out and put the stakes in so that the line is straight, or you could just take a piece of string or rope and anchor it and then be sure you pull it tight so that on the other end you have you've got a straight line. Now you know that that line is straight. And then I'm going to use the alignment stick for our purposes here. So I've used an alignment stick here, and I have a line that I know is absolutely straight. So this is the ball I'm going to putt. Now I want to walk a little bit down that line. So one or two steps. I'm going to put another ball right on that line, another step or two, a third ball on that line. So now my putt, and let's pull these and spread them out where they're even. critical thing is that I know this line is absolutely straight. So now, I'm going to take my alignment sticks out of the way. And here's the problem. We stand back here and we line up this putt, and that's my line, and I know that that's dead straight. And even if the putt is not dead straight, my line is dead straight. You don't hit curves with this, you hit it in straight lines, and then gravity moves the ball off of that line. So now I step up here, and all of a sudden those balls don't look lined up. To me, it looks like this ball is over here to the right. It looks like if I hit it straight, it would go along this line. And that's the product of our eyesight. But here's what you do. You set up over your putt, you get in your stance and position and get where you feel comfortable in terms of being able to make the stroke. And now, keeping your head still and only very slightly moving your head. And remember, we tilt our neck on the line. We don't do like this. That pulls us offline. So you get set up and you're moving very little. And now what I want you to do is, without doing big head movements, just using your eyes, you use your eyes to go on the line, but just using your eyes and moving your head very little, you get into the position where all of those balls look like, from here, the place you're putting from, that they're in a straight line. And for me, that looks like they're in a straight line, and my square putter face is on that line, and now I'm ready to putt. But what you'll notice is you may have to adjust the position that you put the ball in. Here's what I want you to do. You can do this in your home, in the living room floor. Line up coins in a straight line in the floor. Use a tape measure or a ruler or yardstick or string or whatever. You can do it in your garage, indoors, or in your kitchen or a hard surface floor, putting down squares of tape. But you get to where you're standing over the one of those that you're going to putt, and the others look like they are in a straight line with that one. And you get comfortable with that eye position relative to where your eyes and your head and your setup and ball position are, and you lock that in. You can do that. You ought to do that 4 or 5 minutes every day. Back up, look at the putt, eyeball it. Yep, that's my line. And then I'm going to set up, and I'm not in position yet. And right there, everything looks like it's in line. And for me, I instantly know that's the same ball position that I always have, because I feel like my dominant eye is right here, just inside and just behind the ball. That's what works for me. Something different may work for you. The cool thing about this method is you don't need to know what your dominant eye is. You don't need to think about that. You just get over the ball, and when this straight line appears straight to you, then you're set up in a position where you can hit the putt. And that's how you drive the car sideways. So to summarize, your eyes make it hard to see the line, and everybody sees different. This is a universal way to figure out your eye position, alignment, and setup. Get 3 balls a step or 2 apart in a line that you know is a straight line, because you used an alignment stick or a string. You know that line is straight. Set up over your putt with your putter face on that line, and you keep making adjustments with your head and your eyes and your position until that line looks accurate, when you're just barely moving your eyes and tilting your head along that line, not picking up and looking like this. Now you know that's the line, and you ingrain that position and that feel. You do it often enough that it feels natural. When it feels natural, then you just walk in on the course. These other balls aren't there, but you know that's your line, and you set up, and stroke the putt. And speaking of drills like this, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, comment, share. And until next time, here's to you making more putts.